Okay, so we're looking at IELTS Task 2 essay, and the pattern is discuss advantages and disadvantages and weigh up whether the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Okay, so what are the pros and cons and which side do you agree with? Let's look at the topic. Many people believe that reducing the speed limit is the best option for road safety improvement. Do you think there are other measures that could be put in place? What are the advantages and disadvantages of this? Okay, so it's about, should we reduce the speed limit? Okay, so your body one is going to be, are there other things that we could do? And then your body two is going to be sort of weighing up the pros and cons. Okay, or I suppose you could do pros and cons of reducing the speed limit first and then give your improved suggestions for what else could be implemented. Okay, so it's pretty flexible structure. I think in South Korea, especially in Seoul, big topic, reducing the speed limit and traffic. So let's take a look at what this candidate has done. So in the introduction, a number of laws are legislated for road safety at the moment. It is often argued that the best solution to reduce traffic accidents is to lessen the speed limit. However, in my opinion, there are other better solutions. In this essay, other suggestions with benefits and drawbacks of lessening the speed limit will be discussed. Now, I think this is a really great introduction, okay? They have a little background information sentence, okay? They've set up the argument, okay? They've paraphrased what's in the question, okay? Then they've given the counterpoint. They've given me their clear thesis statement, what they believe, okay? And then they've summarized it. So I think this is a really great introduction, okay? Nice job. Ooh, a nice chunky body one. To begin with, it might be claimed that there are several better ways rather than lessening the speed limit to decrease traffic accidents, okay? So we want to have 2 commas here, because this is like a sort of side piece of information. So listen to how I read it. I'm going to read it how they originally wrote it, okay? So let me just erase these commas for you, and then you can sort of listen to how I originally would read it. To begin with, it might be claimed that there are several better ways rather than lessening the speed limit to decrease traffic accidents. Can you hear how it all merges into one sentence? And it's a little bit, there are several better ways to do something. There are several better ways to eat ramen. There are several better ways to cook eggs. But we've got this extra piece of information here, okay? It's because this is a clause, right? This can be moved around the sentence, okay? And because it's an extra piece of information, we need to give it commas. So now listen to it with commas. To begin with, it might be claimed that there are several better ways, rather than lessening the speed limit, to decrease traffic accidents. So can you hear us how I made it sound like that was like we were changing topic briefly for a moment? So this could be moved to the start of the sentence. To begin with, rather than lessening the speed limit, it might be claimed that there are several better ways to decrease traffic accidents. We can move it to the end of the sentence. To begin with, it might be claimed that there are several better ways to decrease traffic accidents rather than lessening the speed limit. Okay, so it can be moved around the sentence. That's how we know it's a clause. So that's when it's a clause, we know that we need to have a little comma there. Okay. Firstly, imposing harsh sentences of higher strength for violating traffic rules can be helpful as a precaution. Okay, can be helpful as a precaution. What a great phrase. Nice vocabulary, very natural sounding. For example, imprisoning or higher fines. Imprisoning offenders, yeah, you say imprisoning who? Imprisoning offenders or higher fines could confine speeding drivers, speeding drivers who, let's maybe say who violate the limit or something like that, rather than running fast. If they were sentenced to millions of dollars for violating traffic rules, they would drive more carefully. This is a really nice example of a sentence. They've shown me some good grammar here. They've used an if sentence. If they did something, they would do something, okay? You've shown me your grammar skill, that you can do that kind of sentence. Furthermore, redesigning the road structure might be effective. Compared with the past, many new roads would have been constructed and the road system might have been more complicated. That is to say, it needs to be redesigned for a simpler and safer road system, okay? Yeah, I think this is a really great paragraph. We've got one odd choice of vocabulary here, but other than that, I think a really, really great first paragraph. Second paragraph. On the other hand, lessening the speed limit has both positive and negative aspects. First of all, it might be the most obvious way to avoid traffic accidents. It is because one of the biggest reasons for traffic accidents is excessive speed. Okay, these two sentences I feel can be linked. Okay, we've got two short sentences together. So I think this candidate can link those together. Nevertheless, there are detrimental effects, such as the issue of traffic congestion. In other words, slow rotation of the traffic system can cause traffic jams and can even lead to far more serious traffic problems. Moreover, it might be difficult for commuters in the early mornings to reduce speed, not to be late for school or work. Okay. Now, what I really like about this paragraph is the way everything links together. Okay, so we've got nevertheless, in other words, moreover, on the other hand. Okay, first of all, okay, so it's kind of a little bit repetitive. You've got linking word, comma, linking word, comma, linking word, comma, linking word, comma. So to be honest, I might get rid of this one just to provide a little bit of variety. But what it actually does is it helps everything kind of flow together and read nicely. So they're building everything on top of each other very nicely. So good linking, nice vocabulary, well explained, answering the question. In conclusion, as far as I'm concerned, despite the advantages of reducing the speed limit, there are a number of disadvantages, so other solutions ought to be provided. Even if it will take a long time, reconstructing the road system and strengthening traffic laws would be more beneficial rather than lessening the speed limit. And again, this is such a great conclusion, okay? They've got, as far as I am concerned, okay, a really nice natural phrase dropped in there. It makes sense. It's logical. We've got some complex sentences. We've got like a nice even if sentence, even if it will take a long time. Okay, so they've shown me some nice different types of grammar. So in terms of task achievement, I think this is great. Okay, I would want to give a 7. The only thing that could be improved is I would ask them to give me some examples. Okay, so you can make up statistics. Over 70% of traffic accidents are caused by excessive speeding. Or that one. Cohesion and coherence. I would want to give a 7. I think it was very nicely constructed, very logical. Vocabulary. We had some really nice, natural sounding phrases. There was just 1 or 2 points where they were sort of like odd word choices. So it's probably a 6.5. And then again, grammar, I probably want to give a 7. We've got complex sentences. We've got different types of sentences. They've shown me different grammar and different sentence constructions. Sometimes some of the sentences could have been linked together and some of the sentence structure was a little bit repetitive, but overall great. So I'm confident giving this a sort of overall 7. I think it was a really great essay and a very, very strong task too.